Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Shrista. You already know we on across the street. Holla! Still ain't got no dance moves. I'm trying though. Hey.
Thought she hugged me. Thought she really fuck with me. Thought she loved me. Thought she hugged me. Thought she really fuck with me. Thought she ride with me. Thought she grind with me. Thought she really fuck with me. Thought she ride with me. Thought she grind with me. Thought she really fuck with me. Thought she loved me. Thought she loved me. Thought she loved me.
It's good. I'm here with Shrista Tyree today. She is currently running away from me as we exit the park here.
Trying to get away from these little
all
kids.
All these kids everywhere.
Oh
yeah.
no, little white kids in
Shrista?
my background.
Thanks for hanging out with me today. How you doing?
What it do? What it do?
If you watch the show enough, you know I do bring everybody a gift. Got you a little something, a little everything. You can save that later for Bay or whatever you want to do. A little something there.
Okay. About to get fucked up.
Yeah.
So I was on the plane the other day, and I actually took an edible too soon. And so I'm trying to get through security. I'm just like trying to walk, but like my body was shutting down. It was trash. So I'm gonna be careful with this one. Cause this look like it's gonna fuck me up.
I ate a couple of them last week. They're pretty good.
Holla.
So you've been traveling then, yeah?
Yeah, I won't say it's traveling because I went with my girl and her family, but hey, it was a fun time. We was up in Hawaii, Oahu, and I learned that like everything's not called Hawaii there. I was getting shitted on live because I thought I was in Hawaii this whole time. Apparently, there's like a million islands and they all go by different things. Just so all y'all know, the collective is called Hawaii.
Was it expensive? You always hear about it's
expensive as hell. I remember I got like a burger and it was like $9. But that burger was fire as hell, so I got that burger like 8 times, so I'm talking shit, but I got it a lot. But yeah, everything was like $8 starting price, and then everything opened at 11 a.m. That was the weirdest thing to me.
Weird.
Yes, everything in the entire island opens at 11 a.m. So you had to, like, and I'm an early bird, so nigga, I had to wait around to eat food. I'm like, God damn, I'm hungry, but you had to wait.
What time does everything close then?
Everything closed at 10. It still closed early, so it was just it was a weird experience.
Did you drink a $12 water in your hotel room?
Yeah, yes, because apparently you can't drink their water and shit. You know, people.
Is there really? Is there bad water there?
That's what they said. I didn't taste it to check, because when I lived in Vegas, I didn't know the water was bad. And I went and just drank tap water, and it just tastes like rust and mold. And I spit that shit out. So when I heard this was bad, I wasn't gonna try. I wasn't gonna try that shit.
I never been to Hawaii. I never been.
Hawaii's fucking dope.
I don't have any interest of an island though. Did it feel weird being kind of stuck on an island?
It was weird, and it's like I didn't also know that like the islands are all like army bases and like military. So it's just army stuff everywhere. Like apparently all the islands are like that. So it was just a different experience. But the beaches were lit, and it was warm. Warm beaches. That's what made the whole thing.
Is that what's different about like the Oregon coast compared to?
Yes, the Oregon coast is cold as fuck. That one, I don't even like water. I literally have not been in water my entire life because I have a water phobia. And anyone close to me knows this because my whole life I've never gotten the river. I never did any of that. And so when I went to Hawaii, I was like, this is cool, but I mean, I don't want to go in the water. And my girl was like, come on. But it was warm. And I was like, all right, nigga, I'll check it out. And I checked out, and it was lit. And then I was in that shit like every day.
Do you know how to swim?
Yes. I only know how to swim because I took swimming classes.
I don't know how to swim, so.
But don't tell nobody because I have a joke where I say I can't swim. So,
Scratch that one, yeah.
Y'all didn't hear that. I can't swim though. But you know, gotta exaggerate those stereotypes.
What's up on the comedy scene then? Is that something that's even popping right now, or like?
Comedy scene's interesting. Cause with the comedy scene, I was like really, really deep into it. And then I got sick, and so when I got my car accident, you know, I was just in a lot of pain, and I did not want to tell jokes. Like when you're like in pain, you don't want to be funny, to be real. And so like I had all these shows lined up with Harvey's and Helium. So I did like my last 3 shows during like right after my car accident, and I wasn't even funny only because like I couldn't do my theatrics because I was in pain. I had a big ass arm sling. It just didn't work for comedy, and I didn't write like arm jokes because I just was at home dying.
Physical comedy.
Yeah, so I was just like, it wasn't a good time. So it was like, I think that was like, July 2019. So to the comedy world, it looks like I quit, but it was more because a lot of the comedians actually weren't friends with me. So they didn't actually even, some of them didn't even know I got in a car accident. Some didn't, yeah,
wow.
I wasn't even cool with most of them.
Wow.
So most didn't even know I got in a car accident. So they all thought I just quit last year. But no, I got in a car accident and then I got sick. So then I was out for a year. And so to the comedy scene, they all thought I quit, and it was weird. And I know they didn't fuck with me because they're like, oh, you're back, you're gonna try comedy again? I was like, nigga, I never quit. I was sick. What are you talking about? And then a lot of them were like, oh, okay. Like, so awkward. But I never went nowhere. I just was sick.
I remember the car accident when that all went down, and I didn't know. I mean, I figured, car accidents are serious, but when you started talking about that PIP line that you had or whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of like.
That shit's no joke.
It all happened so fast, too. It was like, yeah, that sucked. That was the worst of it. But, like, I got in the car accident. Honestly, a lot of people don't know this, but with my comedy, I kind of blew up in, like, literally a day. And I only say that because I decided to do stand-up. And so I went to an open mic, and I wrote a fucking 10-minute set.
And you were booked the next...
And I got booked, like, the next day. And then it was just kind of, like, I blew up. And then I forgot what question you asked.
I love how I heard you answer this on another interview. I did my research, of course. And I loved how you said how all the other comics were like ultra pissed right away.
Yeah, they hella were. I shouldn't have got high. I was going to say something with that. What was the question you asked me? So you gotta edit
I don't remember. I'm too high too, Shrista.
See, we both high.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Drugs, baby.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll talk about some other shit then. But yeah, so I ended up doing comedy, fast forward to now, and I'm just like writing new shit. Oh, I remember what we were talking about.
Okay.
See,
all
drugs,
right.
the PIC line.
The PIP line, yeah.
So I had gotten that car accident, and a lot of people don't know this is that like when I had blown up and all that, I got all that fame or whatever, like local popularity, it all kind of on some real shit. It was a lot. And it was to a point where like I was doing so many comedy shows, I was doing so many hip hop shows that I was getting free drinks. All the bartenders fuck with me. So it was just free drinks, here's free drinks. So everywhere I went, I was just drinking. I got really drunk all the time. And the night I got in a car accident was because I was drunk driving. And a lot of people don't know that because I don't disclose it because at the end of the day, I was going through a lot of shit. We all fuck up. And I was drunk driving. And at that time, like I had been a pretty hardcore alcoholic, and it was only because of entertainment. Like I wasn't doing that before.
Right.
That's the wild thing about it. Like I wasn't an alcoholic, and it turned me into an alcoholic. And at that time, I didn't do any drugs. I had never tried anything. I did weed once as a kid. So I was pretty much, it all got to me. And then I got in a car accident. Ended up breaking 7 bones in my arm. And then I was kind of out, for like 5 to 6 months. I was kind of doing late lyrics, but I wasn't really there. Whoever was there saw me like I was out of it because I was in so much pain. So I wasn't really talking. Ricky was helping me out hosting. And then 6 months go by and I was just in so much fucking pain. And I kept going to the doctors and they weren't listening. And then I finally got like some doctors to listen just to shorten that story. And anyways, they found out I had an infection from the surgery I had 6 months ago.
Yeah, your arm looked like frickin' there was...
Because it was getting worse and worse. And I'm like, bro, I don't think my arms just look like this. And I was at a point where I literally couldn't use it. So I had to wear a sling 7 months after breaking my arm. And everyone who I knew broke bones, they kept telling me, you shouldn't still have a sling. And I'm like, I don't think I should either. And I was like, and I can't move it. And so then we got in, I had an infection. So they actually found out I had been dying the whole time. And so I had lost 60 pounds back then. And so like, I was really skinny and like I was dying. And then I had to go on a PIC line, which for those who don't know, it's just pretty much to put meds in my body. It's kind of like how cancer people have the chemo.
Pretty invasive though.
Yeah, so I'm putting in medicine in my body that actually, what I had doesn't have a cure. So what it is they put something in your body to fight it off. It uses a different disease's cure. And so it was pretty much fighting it off. And I was just it was just a shitty ass time. And so it was another 6 months. And so last year was just like a whole year of me just sick. And so now I feel like I just have to come back hard, Because when some shit like that happens, it makes you realize YOLO.
No.
You only live once on some real shit. And at that time, I felt like I hadn't accomplished all the things I wanted to accomplish. And so I was like, man, when I come out of this shit, like, I gotta go hard. And it's been hard on the comeback just because, like, when I was sick, I lost my job. I couldn't work. So it's really been trying to get my feet back on the ground. It's been about 8 months, and I'm finally like kind of where I want to be. Took a minute.
You've worked at, dispensaries.
Petco.
Petco. I was gonna say, that right there, just like, you must have wrote 1,000 jokes out of Petco.
Bruh, Petco was...
You get to see white people at their fucking finest.
Yeah, they was going crazy. And Petco was annoying because, like, I remember it was, like, the height of, like, my fame. I was just winning some awards and shit. And I remember this customer had came in, and they were like, Shrista? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, you're Shrista? I was like, yeah. I was like, man, I thought you was rich. Why are you working at Petco? And I was like, oh. And it was just hella embarrassing, but like, that's where that YOLO comes in. Yeah. Like, I felt like I shouldn't have been at Petco. Like, why am I at Petco? Why am I not making money from this shit? Right. And I had all this fame, and I had $0. And I was like the TLC story, just popping with no money.
That's good. You do a great thing here, though. The event that is, I believe, you and Zane originally started the Late Lyrics.
Yay and nay.
Yay and nay,
it was like a 2-week thing, honestly.
Sure.
I would say with me and how it really started, it was actually a comedy showcase that I did with Amanda Lynn Dill and D. Martin Austin.
Okay.
And so I did this show, and then we ended up changing the name because I was like, I don't like the name because you know me, I'm bossy. And so I was like, let me think of a cool name, and I thought of Late Laughs. A lot of people don't know that.
Makes sense.
So the comedy show was called Late Laughs. Anyways, you do a year of fucking open mic comedy show, it gets old. And we actually all just kind of got bigger in our careers.
Was it just old because of a lot of recycled material every week?
No, it was just old because we were just, there's levels to this shit, honestly. And for us at that time, like, we were just bigger than that show. Like, as comics ourselves, like, we took up so much time booking these shows and putting on these shows and putting all these people on, and we wasted a lot of time. And we all collectively, me, D. Martin, and Amanda were like, all right, bro, like, I kind of want to do some other things with my career. I kind of want to, like, try to get at this show, kind of want to do this. And we all just decided to kind of split up. But it was a mutual decision, and it was taking up a lot of time. Because it was weekly. It was a weekly comedy show. So it was weekly for a year, so it was a lot. It was a lot of booking, and we just kind of were over it. And then Zane had been like, hey, what do you think of a music mic? Can I take your other hours? Because we weren't using the other hours. And he was like, I was like, sure, whatever. And so we were still running our Late Laughs, and then I was like, let's call the next thing called Late Lyrics.
Damn.
Because I thought it just flowed, you know?
One program into the next.
And then we made it as one thing. Like, you come see comedy, and afterwards you saw music. And so I was like, Late Laughs, Late Lyrics, and that's where it actually originated from.
Oh, poor dude. He just flipped his little...
Get that.
Want to flip it over for him?
Flip it.
All right. I got you, bud.
Yeah.
You're all good. There you go.
Yeah, and then he was doing his mic for like 3 weeks. And then, honestly, people just weren't coming. There wasn't no one coming to his mic. And then he hit me up, he's like, hey, can you help me with that? And I was like, you know what, bro? Let me hit up some of my people. And I hit up Swiggle Mandela.
Yay.
My boy. I was like, well, it was honestly like, I just met this rapper. Like, it was some new shit. Like, I wasn't really into the rap scene yet. I was like, I met this rapper, Swiggle. And so, like, I hit him up, I invited him out, and he's like, yeah, I'll bring some of my people. And Swiggle actually was kind of like that first little jump of me getting some credibility and getting some, like, people to want to come out. Because, like, oh, Swiggle's there. I didn't really know Swiggle that well, but they're like, oh, Swiggle's there. Maybe I'll come out. Maybe that's what it was. And I know that's what it was now that I look back. Like, he was popping, you know?
Yeah.
And he was just a humble-ass dude. And so he came out with, like, Timmy and, you know, all the crew, OZ. Like, they all came out live Most High.
The La Familia, all the guys.
Yeah, it was a lot of La Familia. They just came out. And then they came out 3 shows in a row. And Zane's like, thank you. This is dope. And then Zane ended up, I don't know what was going on with his life, but he decided he wanted to get out of it and get his life together. He was going through a lot of shit. And I was like, that's fine. He's like, do you want to take it over? And I was like, sure. I was like, no offense to you, but like, I kind of thought of the name. And I know we're splitting up, but I want to keep the name. And he was like, no hard feelings. I was only in there for like a month. Cool. And I was like, cool, because that name is lit. Yeah. And then I kept the name, and we just ended up going. And even with Zane, like when I was sick, the cool thing about Zane is we always kept a cool friendship. And while I was sick, I'd hit him up and asked him if he was down to host my shows sometimes, you know? And so he ended up hosting one of my Boston Up shows. He hosted a couple of my Late Lyrics. Cool. But he's always just been the homie and just down for whatever.
He's pretty easygoing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
No, I've done a show before. I used to do a show at Kelly's, a stand-up show called Juice. And anyways, me and the other producer got into it, and he wouldn't let me keep the name. And that's why I thought Zane was gonna make it a big deal, because I had just gotten a fat-ass argument with this other producer.
He's like, Zane's like,
and I was like, he's gonna be an asshole too, watch. And then he was like, oh, I don't care.
Well, that place is dope. Late Lyrics is great. It's like a breeding event for, when I was doing the booking at the radio show all the way to people I do music video for, interviews, breeding ground. I would go in there.
We were talking about this pre-camera. Networking. And a lot of the reason I even got people at HipHop and I wasn't in the scene, it's because I was still at HipHop events. Because, black people, we love to rap. Almost all my friends rap. So I was already at these shows. And so, I was just talking to everyone. So when I ended up deciding to like really push Late Lyrics, it was like everyone started coming out. I went to Swiggle shows, met more people. And then I just started networking. And next thing you know, more people started coming. Yep. And there was a lot of up-and-comers, and up-and-comers never get chances here in Portland. And that was something I noticed. Like, if you see any of the shows, it's always the exact same, I'll say 12 artists. Yeah. Same 12 artists recycled. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring something different to the table. I'm going to showcase up-and-comers. I'm going to showcase new heads.
I think I pulled Vina Baby out of there.
Yep.
First time I saw her,
That's
got her on the radio.
That's the first time I met her. Let me get out this song.
I pulled Anthony Rivera.
Yeah.
First time.
I had just booked him as a headliner, and then the pandemic hit.
Yep.
And we had to cancel it. My bad, bruh.
Pulled him out of there numerous times. I like that event because
it was fun. I kept it real on stage as a host.
No, all the time. You killed it.
I made it like also a ground for teaching in my own little shit talking way, but at the same time, it must have helped everyone, because people would come back and maybe not rap with the back vocals, Maybe people will come back and move on the stage. I remember a guy used to rap with his eyes closed. Whoever it is, I ain't gonna say your name because you don't rap with your eyes closed no more. But niggas used to rap with their eyes closed. And I'm like, I dare you to open your eyes at the next mic. It was just little things. And I would say it on the mic and fuck with people. But I felt like it was a really great growing ground for a lot of people.
You've been also helping some artists out. I saw you help Diction Uno recently with some of his stuff. He made a comment on his episode about not wearing T-shirts and shorts all the time.
Oh my gosh, that man.
At least you look good today. He looks good.
Hey, this is after learning branding.
Nice clothes.
Shit.
Where'd you get this at?
Man,
is this
I
top
got
to bottom?
Ooh, Route 21.
Route 21, all right. Yee. Top to bottom appears to be
I saw that graffiti. My boy Jedi does graffiti. I thought it was tight.
I saw his piece
at the
I saw his piece at the dance studio.
Yeah, he's tight. Yeah. He's been doing it forever, and I'm happy he finally is showing people, because it used to annoy me as a friend that he would hide his art talent.
Like, bro, I
used to literally be like, bro, why are you hiding? He has a whole Instagram. No one knows this. He has a whole other Instagram he doesn't share with all his graffiti.
If you watch the Win episode, he's like, yeah, Jedi made this, and first thing out of my mouth was, what, Jedi did this?
He's been doing it. He does it on the low because he's a weirdo. I don't know why. He's like, I thought he was like, hey, little bro, I need y'all to get out of my ground.
What are you doing in my...
I'm trying to jump that little thing right there.
If you had an RC car, I guess this would be kind of fun, but...
I brought a little race car, actually, but it's...
You did? You bought...
I forgot to bring it out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's smaller than his, though.
Oh.
Because I forgot they had this. I was like, ooh, that'd be cool.
This has been here before, yeah. Right on. Well, so you got back from your trip, now you're back home. Back to work. COVID's kind of weird right now.
Yeah, so now I'm actually just, for me it's been a year, 2 years, honestly, since I did stand-up. So I decided to just write all new material. So a lot of people want me to do shows right now, and I decided I just took off like a 3-month break just to try to get in the writing zone to write new shit. Because I am not going to come back after 2 years and do my shit from 2 years ago.
Haven't you been working on an album too?
Yeah. So I'm working on that too. But yeah, I've been working on stand-up. Stand-up is just hard. People don't realize how hard it is. And I actually never wrote stand-up. I actually just audioed it and performed. And no one knows this, but I used to mess up my sets a ton because I never wrote it down. So I used to miss big chunks. No one would ever know that. But if you watch my set 3 times, you would see me tell the same joke 3 different ways because my dumbass never wrote it down, so I would put them in different orders. Yeah. Or I just missed really good jokes, and it happens so much. And now I'm I actually contacted Chris Johnson. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's a big stand-up comedian here in Portland, won every goddamn award there is. And I hit him up, and I'm the cockiest motherfucker you guys should know. In stand-up especially, In stand-up, I was real cocky, so, like, I hit up Chris, and I straight up was like, hey, bro, I want some help with writing stand-up, man. And, like, I was good, but, like, I know I'm not that good, like, to a point, because comics are always saying my writing's bad, and I never see how my writing is bad. I never researched it either, though, but now that I researched it, I now see what they mean by my writing is bad, and they used to get mad that, like, audiences would laugh because, like, that isn't even good comedy writing. But, like, I have my personality in theatrics and, you know, crowd work, I think that's what really brought people in. But, like, I hit up Chris, and I was like, I just need some help with writing. And he just, like, he was like, okay, cool. And then we had a meeting, and then we show up to the meeting, and he's like, I just never thought the day would come that you would ever ask for help.
Wow, all right.
And I was like, I never thought this day would come either, bro, because I was like at this point where, like, I didn't want any critiques. Like, even though I critique everyone, I would never ask for advice. I never, like, wanted critiques. Even when people gave it to me, like, I didn't listen to shit. I was like, I don't hear anything. And so, like, we met up.
Regardless of their talent?
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'm not really going to listen. And so I just kind of researched everything, did everything on my own this entire time. But, like, I realized after researching, you literally are not going to level up or grow unless you talk to someone who is where you're at or you know people who can get you to where you want to be. You know, and I knew this whole time, but, like, I never thought anyone was at my level because I was so conceited.
So that was the first time, was that conversation with Mr. Johnson the first time?
Yeah, it was the first time, and it was recently. It was only like a month ago.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm about to write all this new comedy. I finally am in the zone. I feel like I'm ready. And, like, yeah, we met up. He gave me great tips. Like, it's, like, crazy because now when I'm writing, I'm excited. Before I used to, like, be all stressed, like, ah. Now I'm like, oh, I get it. Oh, I get it.
I was blown away the first time I saw that Conan O'Brien had a team of, like, 12 people sitting in a room with him writing his jokes.
Kevin, all of them do that, too.
Yeah, it's great. No, that's a...
Yeah, and, like, even with Kevin Hart, I used to... The way I even got into comedy is, like, I watched this interview with Kevin Hart and Oprah, and he said he audio records his set and then he sends it to his friends. And so, and that's how he got, like, a recognition. And I knew starting out, I wasn't gonna know if it was funny. So I actually recorded my first set and I sent it to 5 friends.
Instant feedback too, right?
And it was instant feedback. And they straight up told me what wasn't that funny, what was hella funny, and I should add to it. And so then I rewrote it, and then I went and did my open mic. Most people don't know that, but, like, I sent that off. And now I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. I'm gonna write it all, audio it.
You're talking about writing now. It's not about, you know, the comedy comes with, you know, who you are, but the writing portion of it is, like, what sells the joke.
Exactly.
You know?
And I never studied it. And I'm like, why wasn't I studying it? And now that I studied it and got some tips, I just feel like this comedy is going to be so much better. But also I'm really nervous because it's 100% different only because I know how to write now. And now I'm like, weird. I hope you guys like it.
Too Fast and Furious.
Damn, that ugly ass car. That car.
Shit.
What the fuck? I think that's my neighbor, actually.
You made me think about something, and when I watched one of your past interviews, and you said something about how you do the cute little fake laugh, right? Where you laugh at your own little jokes.
Yeah.
And when I watched the Dave Chappelle episode last night after hearing that, I watched Dave do it twice.
See, it's a thing.
I seen it.
Because audiences have no idea.
They don't know.
It's written in. It's written in. Kevin Hart, I just watched him do it, and I was like, ooh, that was a brilliant. His looked like a real laugh. He was practicing.
Real? Okay, yeah, because the one I saw.
Like mine, I try to make it look real, but sometimes I suck at it. But yeah,
the Dave Chappelle one, the first one, he looked it looked fake.
Yeah, he probably has fucking been doing this. He has been doing this for so long. Yeah.
That was a cool tip, though. That was a cool tip. I never noticed that in comedy until I watched that little thing from you, and I thought, oh, that's clever.
It makes crowds like you more. It, like, makes it more personable for some reason. And then there's like, oh shit, she thinks her own jokes are funny.
We ripped through about 23 and a half minutes already.
Damn.
So nice little interview. You want to get some love or PSA shout out to the city before we get out of here? Anything you want to say?
Oh, boy,
being such a town influential person that you
Oh
are.
man. Yeah, let's just bring up some shit real quick. So I want to talk about a few things because I've been trying to talk about it a little bit more, but I think a lot of people in the town, y'all need to work motherfucking harder. Stop saying you slept on, y'all. I feel like a lot of people are saying they're slept on, and then I'll go and see what they've even done, and they're on SoundCloud only, or they're not even on SoundCloud yet, or they've never even, like, shared a music video. For all those people who say you're slept on, you're most likely not slept on, you're probably not working hard enough. And what I'll say is don't be afraid to ask people for help. Don't be afraid to reach out to people who are doing what you want to do. And that's where it can stop a lot of motherfuckers. Like, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to research. Don't be afraid to YouTube. I did all that shit. A lot of my beginning of coming up was honestly just hella fucking research. But if I could rewind and do it over, I would do hella fucking research and I would ask people hella fucking questions. And asking questions and being out there, it can be super uncomfortable. But what I learned is you got to be uncomfortable if you want to really make it. Because even with stand-up, like, the reason I'm so good on stage, and I'm going to fucking toot my own horn, the reason I'm so good, like, live performing is because when you do stand-up, you bomb a lot. Because I'll go and do a bar show with 3 white dudes with some long-ass beards. You know they Trump supporters. So you know they ain't laughing at me. So you get that awkwardness, you uncomfortable. But what that made me do is it made me not give a fuck. And now I'm at a point where I could be on stage. I don't care if 3 of those white dudes over there don't fuck with me and the Trump supporter over there don't fuck with me, you know? I'm at a point where, like, I got past all that uncomfortableness and now I'm just free and open. And if you are watching this right now, just don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Don't be afraid to DM someone and ask for a fucking comment. It sucks, it's awkward, but do it. You gotta promote yourself. You're trying to be an entertainer, no matter what you do, you have to promote yourself. You have to market yourself. Shit, you gotta brand yourself. I was looking like a fucking homeless person this last 10 years. I finally learned how to dress, shit.
She's even giving other people advice on how to dress now.
Yeah, so I have a little side business of consulting. Yep. So you can check out my website. Just go on my Instagram. I have a link in the bio. But yeah, I have a music consulting and I do small businesses. So yeah, check me out.
You got a link tree?
Yep, my link tree is what is on my Instagram.
I'll add Shrista's link tree down at the bottom so you guys can check all of her activities, all of her social media contacts. I'd also like to take my time for my shameless plug to please like, subscribe, and share.
Like, subscribe, please, share this shit.
Please.
Shit, while we're here, I actually got a show coming up. So if you actually tuned in and watched this long, I will give away 2 free tickets. You will be in the running to win 2 free tickets if you drop a comment on this motherfucking YouTube video.
Oh.
So drop a comment on this video and you'll be entered to win 2. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, rewind that shit. Rewind it.
We want to subscribe this motherfucker too.
So in order to be entered to win 2 free tickets, you gotta subscribe and drop at least 1 comment. So subscribe, drop 1 comment. You are entered to win 2 free tickets to my first rap competition.
Is there a flyer for that?
There is.
I'll post the flyer for it, bing, right next to her while she finishes up.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'll send him all the info. But yeah, be entered to win 2 free tickets. First rap competition, bring it on. Let's get it.
Shrista Tyree, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you coming out.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm going by just Shrista now.
Oh, you just going by Shrista now? All right.
Remix. I haven't even told people. I'm going by just Shrista now because I realized I got a unique ass name like Beyonce. So why add in my middle name too?
There you go.
So we are just Shrista, Shrista. Holla. Hey.
We'll see you soon. Yeah, I look forward to the show. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, y'all better tune in, cross the street. You already know, Jim Bonus beats in this bitch.
Hey.